They related to me. John done had a baby with his cousin. Bet you we need to test the baby. The baby is probably...
Shut up.
That's why the baby... What I saw, because I was in shock. I was not trying to say anything bad about your son for clout. So whatever you over there plotting and scheming for our year to be whatever you thought it was going to be, and anything that you for my year to go any other way than what Jesus Christ has designed it to go for, I bind and rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
Blueface mom, Carissa, is back at it again, and this time, she's making wild accusations about Chrishean Rock and the tragic passing of her ex-boyfriend, Ronnie. The drama is getting out of control, and the internet isn't sure who to believe. For months, Ronnie was making headlines, telling anyone who would listen that Chrishean's baby might actually be his and not Blueface. He was pushing hard for a court-ordered DNA test to prove it, but before that could happen, Ronnie was shot outside his home, leaving everyone with more questions than answers. As soon as the news broke, Carissa wasted no time stirring the pot. She hopped online, implying that Chrishean might have had something to do with it. She suggested that Ronnie knew too much, and that his death might not have been a random act of violence. She hinted that Chrishean needed to keep her secret hidden, and that this was a way to make sure nobody found out the truth. Now, if you know Carissa, you already know she loves drama. She has never been a fan of Chrishean, and their beef has been messy for years. She has accused Chrishean of being a bad mother, drinking while pregnant, skipping doctor appointments, and neglecting her child. She even said everyone around Chrishean is too scared to speak up because she controls the money. Meanwhile, Blueface has been going back and forth on whether or not Lil Jr. is his. When she first announced her pregnancy, he immediately denied being the father, claiming she had been with multiple men. He even pressured her to get an abortion, saying he wanted no part of it.
But then came the secret DNA test.
Blueface claimed he went behind Chrishean's back, got the baby tested, and the results came back saying he wasn't the father. He went online, saying, "I knew it. That test was fake. I never trusted it. I swabbed the baby myself. Results came in. I'm not the father." This sent the internet into a frenzy, because Chrishean had been pushing so hard for Blueface to step up. That's when Ronnie stepped into the picture, claiming he was the real father all along. He started posting side-by-side baby pictures, telling Blueface, "You are not the father, bro. That baby looks just like me." And just when it seemed like the truth was about to come out, Ronnie was shot and killed before the court-ordered DNA test could happen. Now, Carissa is doubling down, saying Ronnie's death wasn't just bad luck. She's implying that Chrishean had a reason to keep him quiet, because if the DNA test proved Ronnie was the father, her whole story would have fallen apart. After Ronnie's passing, Carissa went online and said, "I'm speechless. My condolences to his family. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad my son is in jail and far away from this mess." Now, the internet is going crazy trying to figure out the truth. Did Chrishean really have something to do with Ronnie's death? Or is Carissa just reaching, like always, trying to drag Chrishean's name through the mud? Because at this point, this story is getting crazier by the day, and nobody knows what's really going on. Carissa has been coming for Chrishean nonstop, throwing out accusations left and right. She's been saying that Ronnie's passing is too much of a coincidence and that he was silenced before he could prove the truth about Chrishean's baby. But let's be real, Carissa has never needed proof to talk crazy online, so a lot of people think she's just doing what she always does. But here's the thing, Carissa isn't the only one side-eyeing this situation. Some fans are starting to ask questions too. Ronnie was loud about wanting that DNA test, and just when he was about to get it done, he was gone. People are wondering if this was just bad timing or if something bigger is at play. Meanwhile, Chrishean is staying quiet, which is very unlike her. Usually, when Carissa starts talking, Chrishean fires back immediately. But this time, she's barely said a word about Ronnie's passing. Some people say she's grieving and just doesn't want to feed into the drama, while others think she's staying quiet for a reason. And then there's Blueface, who's been flip-flopping like always. One minute, he's saying he's not the father. The next minute, he's acting like he's back in the baby's life. He's been locked up, but that hasn't stopped him from throwing shade at Chrishean, calling her a liar, and saying she's been hiding the truth about her baby from the jump. At the same time, Blueface camp is staying quiet about Carissa's accusations. Usually, his family is quick to back her up, but this time they're not saying much, which has people wondering if even they know she's doing too much. One thing is for sure, this drama isn't over yet. If Carissa keeps pushing this narrative, things could get even messier. And if new details come out about Ronnie's death, it could change everything. Now, the only question left is, will the truth ever come out, Or is this going to stay one big mystery? Because right now, nobody knows what's real and what's just internet drama. The internet isn't letting this go. People are demanding answers, and with Carissa still pushing her accusations, this drama is far from over. If Ronnie's death really was just a coincidence, then why does it feel like something is being covered up? And if Carissa is just talking nonsense, why isn't Chrishean clearing her name like she usually does? People are starting to notice how quiet Chrishean has been since all of this went down. Usually, when Carissa throws shade, Chrishean is quick to clap back, whether it's on Instagram Live, Twitter, or an interview. But this time, nothing. No statements, no responses, just complete silence. Some say she's just trying to grieve, that she doesn't want to feed into Carissa's mess. But others think she's staying silent for a reason, because maybe Carissa knows something we don't. And let's not forget, Carissa is messy, but she's also been right before. She was the first one to say Blueface wasn't really the baby's father. At first, people called her crazy, but then Ronnie came out claiming he was the real dad, and suddenly Carissa didn't look so wrong anymore. Now, with Ronnie gone, Carissa is saying the situation is deeper than anyone realizes. She's been dropping hints online, saying people should connect the dots and that Ronnie's passing wasn't random. She even reposted messages from people questioning the timing, making it seem like she knows something but can't say it outright. Meanwhile, Blueface is still locked up, and some people think he might know more than he's letting on. He hasn't addressed Ronnie's death directly, but he's still been taking shots at Chrishean, calling her a liar and saying she's been hiding things about her baby since the start. At this point, the internet is divided. Some people think Carissa is just being Carissa, stirring up drama with no proof. Others think she's onto something, and that this whole situation is way more complicated than people realize. One thing is for sure, this drama isn't dying down anytime soon. If more details about Ronnie's death come out, things could take a shocking turn. And if Carissa keeps pushing the story, Chrishean might have no choice but to respond. So now, the question is, will the truth ever come out? Or is this just another messy chapter in the never-ending Blueface and Chrishean saga? Because at this point, nobody knows what's real anymore. Chrishean is out here caught up in another messy situation, and this time, it's looking real bad. The rumors about her messing around with Offset while he was still with Cardi B are getting louder, and now even people close to her are speaking out. At first, folks thought Blueface was just being messy, but now Chrishean's own sister and best friend have come forward, dropping receipts that got everybody talking. It all started when Blueface put her on blast, saying Chrishean had been creeping with Offset behind Cardi's back. He was mad that she covered up his tattoo, so he went off online, saying she needed to quit acting like she was innocent when she had just messed around with a married man. He said, being tatted on a girl is not a flex. You literally messed with Cardi B's husband a couple of weeks ago. Offset was quick to deny it, posting, I ain't never talked or touched that lady. Real talk, man. You need some help. But let's be real. Offset has been caught up in so many cheating scandals, people don't believe a word he says anymore. Chrishean also clapped back at Blueface, saying he was just mad because she found something weird on his phone. She tried to flip the script, saying, You just making stuff up. Let's talk about how I saw certain content in your recent search history. That's why I really covered up that tattoo, bro. But Blueface wasn't letting it go. He kept pushing the story, saying he knew the exact date she met up with Offset, and even claimed it was at a house in LA after party. And here's where it gets wild. Blueface wasn't lying about that party. On November 10th, Chrishean and Offset were both seen at French Montana's birthday party in LA. So if what Blueface is saying is true, that means after the party, she and Offset really linked up. Then, just when folks started wondering if there was any truth to this, Cardi B popped up on live the same day Blueface exposed everything and told fans that she and Offset were already broken up. She said, I've been single for a minute now. I don't care about none of this. I don't want to be in this mess. Now, was Cardi low-key confirming that she already knew about Chrishean and Offset? She also said she didn't even bother investigating the rumors, which makes people think she had already checked out of the relationship. But the drama didn't stop there. Chrishean's best friend, Janet, came forward and made things even messier. She went live and straight up said Chrishean really did sleep with Offset, and that she did it because she wanted to be like Cardi B. According to Janet, Chrishean thought that if she got with Offset, it would bring her closer to living Cardi's life. That alone was wild, but then Chrishean's own sister, Chastity, stepped in and exposed even more. She said that on the night Chrishean was allegedly with Offset, She was the one babysitting Chrishean's son while she snuck off. She even claimed that Offset introduced Chrishean to his daughter, Culture, before they hooked up. Now, Chastity and Chrishean used to be super close, so it shocked everyone when she turned on her like this. Chastity even helped raise Chrishean's son, Junior, when Chrishean was locked up. So, why would she suddenly expose her like this? Well, Chrishean went live and said something so foul about Chastity that she couldn't let it slide. Chrishean accused her sister of being responsible for her own child's passing and told people to look up Chastity's past cases. That's when Chastity snapped and started dropping all the dirt, including the Offset situation. If all of this is true, it's a bad look for Chrishean. She not only helped destroy Cardi and Offset's already struggling marriage, but she did it while knowing Offset's history with cheating. And now, instead of denying it, she's just trying to flip the story and play the victim. People online are calling her out, saying she never denied it, just deflected. And the nerve of her to talk about somebody else's child when she barely takes care of her own. Others are calling out Offset, saying, Offset is messy, and Chrishean is a clown. She plays too much and needs to focus on her child and her life. Now, everyone is waiting to see what Cardi B does next. Was Offset cheating with Chrishean the final straw for her? And will Chrishean ever admit to what really happened? Because one thing's for sure, this drama is just getting started. Now, the internet is going crazy, and the drama just keeps getting worse by the day. Chrishean is staying quiet, which is very unlike her, and that's making people even more suspicious. Usually, when someone calls her out, she fires back immediately, but this time, nothing but silence. Meanwhile, Cardi B is moving like she's over it, but fans are wondering if she's really done with Offset for good or if this is just another break in their toxic relationship. Everybody knows Cardi has taken Offset back multiple times, even after he cheated on her over and over again. So people are watching closely to see if she's really standing on her words this time. And let's talk about Offset because the man has been real quiet lately. Usually when he's caught up in a scandal, he goes on damage control. But this time, he's barely saying a word. That's making people believe that he might really be guilty this time and knows that any response would just make things worse. Then there's Blueface, who is still running his mouth, making it clear that he's not letting this go. He's been throwing more shots at Chrishean, saying she's messy and needs to own up to what she did. And let's be real, he's loving every second of this because, for once, he's not the bad guy in the story. At the same time, Chrishean's sister, Chastity, isn't holding back either. She's been dropping even more tea, saying that Chrishean has been lying about a lot of things, not just Offset. She even hinted that there are more men involved that Chrishean has been keeping secret. People are now saying this is one of the biggest scandals Chrishean has ever been in, and if she doesn't speak up soon, it's only going to get worse for her. Because the longer she stays quiet, the more people are going to assume the worst. Now, the big question is, will Cardi B finally expose everything? Because if she speaks on it and confirms that Offset was creeping with Chrishean, it's over. Chrishean will never live this down, and her reputation will take a serious hit. One thing is for sure, this drama is far from over, and if more receipts drop, things could get even crazier. Now, all eyes are on Chrishean, Offset, and Cardi B to see who's going to break their silence first. Chrishean is still silent, and that's making things look even worse for her. The fact that she's usually loud and quick to defend herself, but now she's nowhere to be found, has people convinced that she knows she got caught up in something messy. Meanwhile, Cardi B is keeping it cute, acting like she's unbothered, but fans aren't convinced. Cardi is the type to go off on social media when she's mad, but this time, she's playing it cool. Some people think she's plotting her next move, while others believe she's low-key embarrassed that her husband's name is wrapped up in another scandal, this time with Chrishean. Offset is also acting strange. He hasn't been active online, and he hasn't denied anything since his first response. Usually, when he gets caught up in cheating rumors, he's quick to post lovey-dovey messages to Cardi, trying to make it seem like everything's all good. But this time, radio silence. That's got people thinking he knows there's no getting out of this one. One thing is for sure, this drama isn't dying down anytime soon. And the second more receipts drop, it's going to blow up all over again. It's rather sad that Ronnie Doe's quest for answers in his paternity struggle with Chrishean Rock has allegedly ended in tragedy. Doe has been tragically shot in front of his house in a tragic turn of events after his confrontation with Chrishean Rock in a shopping mall, where he was demanding a DNA test from her to determine the paternity of her son. With Chrishean Rock's paternity saga taking a tragic turn, what is her reaction to this latest development? Stay tuned to uncover the truth behind this heartbreaking story. The heartbreaking news of Karen Ronnie Doan's untimely death on February 3rd at the young age of 24 has sent shockwaves through social media, casting a somber mood over the online community. The tragic incident unfolded in Maryland, where Ronnie was found fatally wounded outside a home by law enforcement. Swift medical intervention was provided before he was rushed to the University of Maryland-Baltimore Washington Medical Center, but tragically, he succumbed to his injuries from the gunshot wounds. Authorities are treating the shooting as a targeted attack, launching a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the devastating event. The news of Ronnie's passing spread like wildfire across social media platforms after a heart-wrenching post by a man believed to be his uncle surfaced on Facebook. The emotional message conveyed a profound sense of loss and grief, painting a vivid picture of the pain and sorrow felt by those close to Ronnie. His uncle's words echoed the sentiments of many who were left reeling from the sudden and senseless tragedy, mourning the loss of a young life cut short. In his words, "This feels like a nightmare. I've been up crying all night. I'm not supposed to bury you, nephew. You're supposed to bury me. It hurts so bad that your life is taken, but I know you're at peace now. I love you and will truly miss you. R.I.P. Karen nephew." Before his untimely death, Ronnie loved rap music and often shared his freestyles on social media. Even though he never became famous for his music, he was passionate about it. Ronnie became popular online because of his past relationship with Chrishean Rock, who is known for her on and off relationship with rapper Blueface and her reality TV appearances. His relationship with Chrishean was far from peaceful and often led to arguments, accusations, and even public confrontations.